I started doing a lot of hypnotic regression. Now, obviously, hypnotic regression is one of those areas that depends a lot on your beliefs. I spoke to many people's past lives, and I don't know whether that was a genuine past life that really happened, whether it was that person tuning into some kind of universal consciousness, or whether they were re-experiencing something they'd read in a book or seen in a film. Whatever it is, it's fascinating phenomena. It just goes to show you how amazing the human mind is. I personally believe they were genuine past lives. I want to tell you about a couple of them. A young lady that I hypnotised and regressed her to former lives. I actually spoke to 8 of this person's former lives. It was perhaps the most amazing person I've ever hypnotised. One of them was a young lady that was born in 1901, died in 1924. Her name was Polly Millen, and she either lived or worked on Maynard Road in London. Now, I've never checked this up, so if you want to check it, you're more than welcome to. But I was able to hypnotise this girl, get her to regress into Polly, and then wake her up as Polly, and I was able to get Polly's signature. And I did this over a period of a few months, and every time the signature matched, and I got the girl to try and duplicate the signature in a normal waking state, and anyone would have told you that that was a forgery. It was really obvious. Polly was fascinating. I also spoke to another life called Elizabeth from the same girl, and her father made chairs for a living. She didn't know the word chair, so she called them sitters, which I found very interesting. And she used to write messages for me, but they were all in code. There was one message, a few circles, a triangle and some lines, and it meant meet me at home. Now, months and months later, I spoke to Elizabeth again, and I wrote down a few symbols and asked her what these meant, and she was able to tell me which ones meant what, and it did mean meet me at home. So, these are amazing experiences, and when we did that, the girl that I did that with, when she was hypnotised and she was one of these other people, she looked different. The facial muscle distribution changed, and she looked like a different person. A voice changed, a personality changed, and it's something. Now, whatever area of hypnosis you are interested in, this is something that I want you to experiment with. I will teach you how to do this. That's part of a bonus package that you're going to get completely free of charge. I'm going to cover hypnotic regression for you, but just do it, because whatever your beliefs, it is fascinating to see these people go through these changes, and you learn so much about people, and they learn a lot about themselves as well. So it is a really wonderful thing to do. So I'd done the stage hypnosis for my ego, I'd done hypnotherapy for helping other people as I started mature, and I'd satisfied a lot of curiosity with what I'd call paranormal hypnosis, particularly hypnotic regression. What I've moved into more recently is an area of hypnosis that is perhaps the most rewarding area of trance you will ever experience, and this is hypnotising myself. Using hypnosis, not just self-hypnosis, but using hypnosis to be able to grow as a spiritual being. Now, I'm not only a hypnotist, I'm a fully qualified spiritual healer with the National Federation of Spiritual Healers. I also do magnified healing with the Order of Melchizedek and the Flower of Life, and I also practice the macabre meditation, if you're familiar with that. So I'm quite involved in those kind of areas. But what I've done with my experience of hypnosis is I've taken all my hypnotic techniques and know-how, and I've mixed it all up with all that. So I've been able to see clients and use hands-on healing and hypnosis to be able to heal them. And I've also been able to use hypnosis as well as meditative practices to be able to improve my own spiritual growth. And the things I managed to accomplish with that are just unbelievable, and I'm not really going to cover them whilst teaching you hypnosis because it goes into too much depth, but I have got some more material on that I'll certainly be telling you about, and I'll be sending you some emails about that if you subscribe to my list. And it's fascinating. The stuff you can achieve with this is just mind-blowing. Now, back in '92, when I was interested in hypnosis because I had this huge ego, I wanted to look cool, I hadn't considered any of this. I just wanted to make people bark like dogs and act like chickens. So whatever reason you are here, bear in mind that hypnosis, there is a whole world out there, and you're about to go through something that will change your life forever. It's like opening a door and walking through, and once you're through, you're never going to close that door again. But when you're on the other side, you will see more and more things that you can use hypnosis for, and it's going to blow you away. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to use a hypnotic induction to take someone from a normal waking state of consciousness and to get them into hypnosis. Right? This is really important, because whether we're talking about stage hypnosis, hypnotherapy, hypnotic regression, self-hypnosis, or whatever we're talking about, the tool is the same. The way I want you to think about hypnosis is like a light switch. There are some hypnotic inductions that are like a dimmer switch. If the light's fully on, that's like someone's in fully waking consciousness. If the light's all the way off, that's like hypnosis. And if you imagine dimming the switch down, that's like a progressive relaxation induction. They slowly progress towards hypnosis. Now that's what I want you to learn first, because it will give you a really solid foundation, and as you learn it, you're going to get bulletproof on questions as well. We've also got hypnotic inductions which are like flicking the switch. These are your instant and rapid inductions. It's like someone's in a fully waking state of consciousness, you flip the switch and suddenly they're in trance. Now if you've seen inductions on telly where they go sleep and click their fingers, that isn't a hypnotic rapid induction. What happens on telly is before the cameras start rolling, they hypnotise people using usually a progressive relaxation induction or a combination of techniques. And then the TV cameras then start to roll because they're not allowed to film hypnotic inductions, simply because the people watching the TV programme might be hypnotised. So first of all, they pre-hypnotise all the volunteers for a show. Then you watch as the cameras roll, and they're given what's called a post-hypnotic suggestion to follow. And this suggestion is that every time that the hypnotist clicks their fingers and says the word sleep, that hypnotic subject will return to a state of hypnosis. So when you see the TV and the hypnotist just clicks their fingers and says sleep, that's not hypnotising someone, that's just activating the trigger that's already been put in. So I'll teach you all about post-hypnotic suggestions as well. Now you're going to learn all this stuff, but as I learnt more about hypnosis and my abilities developed, I learnt about what we'd call advanced hypnotic language patterns and also neuro-linguistic programming. So I want to give that to you as well. Advanced hypnosis is, if you think about a very normal progressive relaxation induction, this is the kind of thing where you've seen someone saying you're feeling sleepy, you're becoming more and more relaxed, that kind of thing. Now if you imagine spicing that up a little bit by adding a few little tidbits here and there, that's advanced hypnosis. And how it works is you use specific language patterns to pepper your induction to make it communicate on two levels. So you're communicating on a conscious level, and you're also communicating directly with your client's subconscious mind. When you're communicating with your client's subconscious mind, you're doing it with hypnotic language patterns such as embedded commands, subliminal messages, presumptions, those kind of things. To give you a quick example of how this works, if you imagine that you've got a client with you and you're talking about hypnosis, answering their questions and just putting their mind at ease before you even start, you'd probably say something like, when you go into trance, you'll feel more relaxed. Now that statement is loaded with suggestions. First of all, there's a subliminal message in there, like an embedded command to go into trance. So it'll say when you go into trance, you'll feel more relaxed. You've got two, go into trance and feel more relaxed. Now you'll highlight these out by changing your voice tonality, raising your eyebrows or whatever, and it'll be picked up by their subconscious mind. And when they pick that up, it'll be accepted as a suggestion in their subconscious, so they'll act on that and it will take them towards trance. Now that in itself isn't going to put someone under hypnosis, but the way you want to think about this, if you imagine you've got a dripping tap, and every single drip is like, each one of these little suggestions is like another little drip, and this drip is filling a huge reservoir of persuasion. That's what hypnosis is like. So while you're doing one of these inductions, each one of these little things that you use is like adding another piece. It's like getting a little bit more weight towards your persuasive not argument, but your persuasion towards moving them towards trance. So that's what advanced hypnosis does, and you can use these techniques in normal conversation as well. Now this course does not teach you, it doesn't focus solely on conversational hypnosis. It focuses on the kind of hypnosis where the person knows they're going to be hypnotised, and you can use that for anything. If you want to learn conversational hypnosis, I really strongly recommend that you get off my site and you find on the internet a guy called Igor Ledachowski. He has by far the best course on conversational hypnosis out there. So that's why you're here. Get over there and find that. Now, I want to point out what I just did there. I am selling a course on hypnosis, but I'm here to tell you what it does do and what it doesn't do. If you want something that my course doesn't do, and I can recommend somebody else's in place of mine, I will do that, because the reason I do this is because I've got a passion for hypnosis. It's something I really strongly believe in. I want everyone to be able to do it, and I want you to be able to do it. So I started doing a lot of hypnotic regression. Now obviously hypnotic regression is one of those areas that depends a lot on your beliefs.